Black Goose TV family, salute, salutations, man. Look, you already know when it comes to this video, I ain't finna go into the nitty gritty of this. There ain't no analytical side of the game. This is just Oscar De La Hoya being Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I'm saying? He a lion. He in the jungle. He trying to find some prey. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lions sleep. Anyway, that's what he on, man. He on his Lion King, man. I know some bullshit, man. Check it out, man. De La Hoya. Jake Paul is the real deal. He can be the world champion. I ain't finna try and break this down, but remember I said to y'all, it's all about your opinion, all about your comments. So I'm trying to do a little bit better job to get y'all involved. So before we get into this, I want to know you guys' opinion right away. Y'all don't even got to listen to my breakdown, my analytical about the situation. I'm asking the question right in the beginning. Y'all can answer that or respond to that would be the right way to say it. And then if you want to, obviously listen to the rest of the video, have a comment toward that. That's beautifully fine. But I want to ask you guys this. How much do you think Oscar De La Hoya is capping when it comes to this statement, if this statement is true? Do you think Oscar De La Hoya is just saying, hey, Jake Paul is the real deal. He can be world champion because he knows Jake Paul is on the last fight of his, 3 or 4 fight deal? I think it was a 3-fight deal with Showtime. So obviously fought Tyron Woodley the first time, fought him again the second time, and he has one more deal left with Showtime. Do you think this is Oscar De La Hoya just being like, hey, Jake, I know your deal with Showtime is about to end, but when that thing is done, come on over to Golden Boy Promotions. We're going to treat you right. Or do you think Oscar De La Hoya truly believes, a Hall of Famer in De La Hoya who fought the best of the best, truly believes Jake Paul is the real deal and he can be a world champion? I want to know you guys' opinion. Drop it below in the comments. Let me hear from you. But let's go ahead and get into this article because I want to see if any of this is actually factual. This isn't something I like to talk about like this. Clickbait, nigga. This ain't no real boxing, nigga. We talking about Jake Paul. This shit ain't no real boxing. But he's part of the boxing community. He is. As much as you guys want to deny it, the nigga is a big name in boxing. It is what it is. So for me to sit here and be like, I ain't finna talk about Jake Paul. Nigga, Oscar De La Hoya is talking about Jake Paul. This nigga is a promoter and a millionaire. So you definitely know I'm about to go ahead and throw this up in here. So let's see what he does have to say and if any of these statements, or at least the very least, the headline and the title of the article was true. Let me tell you one thing about Jake Paul, De La Hoya said to TMZ, and he's talking to TMZ. God damn, that sums everything up. It basically answers my question in the beginning, but fuck what I think. Y'all drop it below what you guys think. He's the real deal. I'm going to tell you that. Can I read it in my Oscar De La Hoya voice? Would that be a little bit more entertaining? Let me try. Let me tell you one thing about Jake Paul. He's the real deal. I'm going to tell you that. With only 4 or 5, all right, I'm gonna stop. With only 4 or 5 fights, the way he's taking it serious, Jake Paul is the real deal. And I dare anyone who has boxing, who has MMA experience, to call him out, because I can tell you one thing: this guy can beat a lot of good champions, even maybe great champions. Jake Paul's onto something because he's taking it serious. I love how when people talk about if Jake Paul is like good or not, or elite, the first thing motherfuckers go through is he's taking it serious. He's actually training. Like, nigga, that's what every regular boxer does, is take it serious and actually train. But because he's a celebrity and he has money and he decided to really put his whole entire foot 2 feet forward, he's a real deal. Anyways, let's go back to it. I'm going to start from the beginning. And I dare anyone who has boxing, who has MMA experience, to call him out, because I can tell you one thing: this guy can beat a lot of good champions, even maybe great. Emphasis on great champions. Wow. Jake Paul is on to something because he's taking it serious, because all of a sudden that you taking the sport serious shows that you're elite. This is not a 1-off or a 2-off or a 3-off. No. He wants to become a world champion, and there's no way out of becoming a world champion. You have to fight the very best, and he's doing it right now. I just have to say it. My bad. I got to rewind that back. He wants to become a world champion, and there's no way out of becoming a world champion, because you have to fight the very best, and he's doing it right. I just have to say that Jake Paul is doing the right thing. He's doing the right thing promotional-wise, business-wise. That's a fact. He's on his way to becoming a contender. He's on his way to becoming a world contender, then a world champion, if he keeps it up with all the social media stuff. Look, this nigga went to the social media before he even went on to his opponents and how he looks in the ring. Social media, look, everybody wants to be him. Think about it. Everybody wants followers. Everybody's on social media. What's wrong with him having 19+ million followers? It's wonderful for the sport. Enough with that BS. Let him be he. He's doing the right thing, and it's great for boxing. I really hope he becomes a world champion. So once again, I'm going to offer this question to you guys. If you guys were able to get through all that bullshit, because y'all see I'm on one. So if you guys were able to get all through that bullshit, or did you end up just answering the question in the beginning, I'm going to ask again. Is De La Hoya on that cocaine? type shit again, and he's just talking out his ass, and he don't believe nothing he's saying, or is he trying to stay in the good graces of Jake Paul because he knows Jake Paul's last fight on his Showtime deal ends? I don't know who he's going to be fighting this year, but whoever he fights this year, that's his last fight on the Showtime deal. So he'll be a free agent. And if you think all of the major promotions aren't going to be signing up to try and get him part of that thing, especially if he wins on his last third fight, you're motherfucking crazy. Because people still want to try and be like, well, Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley only did 25K pay-per-views. Guys, that's already been debunked. It's already been, that was just the cable pay-per-views. They didn't factor in what happened online and the internet, and it ended up coming out around like the same amount that Gervonta Davis versus Issa Cruz did. So anyways, that's all I got to say. I'm not going to be long with it when it comes to a Jake Paul subject in boxing because nigga, I ain't that nigga. But I want to know what you guys think about it. Let me know. Drop it in the comments. Like the video. Subscribe. Comment. All that good shit. I love y'all, man. Stay beautiful. Stay blessed. And as always,